This is the L2C Media Network, and live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk in our studios in Jackson. This is Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now, with the details that make the headlines smell April fresh, here's the Baxman, Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Okay, can you turn it down? All right. Hi there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our humble program. We got a lot to do. We promised a few things yesterday, but unfortunately could not deliver because, we ran out of time. So let's get to it. We got a whole lot to do, including our Thursday Night Football edition of Rapping with the Rabbi. So, without further ado, or don't, let's rock this puppy with our scoreboard. And our scoreboard, as always, is presented by the good kind folks at Caesars Sportsbook, which wants us to remind you that we are all Caesars. We are. We are that. Yes, we are.
People think I have all the answers, but I think that's because my voice sounds like this. In reality, I'm full.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get going here. Kill off the commercial. Because it's don't need that. Come on, bop. Thank you. Okay, let's get you ready for playoffs. Let's go to it with the games that are still going on. Bottom of the sixth inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants are tied at 0. Fifth inning, the Oakland Athletics and Seattle Mariners, they're also at 0. Fourth inning, Padres and the defending World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers are tied at 5. Final scores, Rockies over the Nationals 10-5, 10-14-0 for the Rocks, 5-9-1 for the Nats. Goodrow got the win for the Rockies. He's 2-1. Thompson with the loss for the Nats. He's 1-2. Cubs beat the Pirates 3-2, 3-10-0 for the Cubs, 2-5-0 for the Pirates. Morgan gets the win for the Cubs. He's 2-1. Shreve gets the loss for the Pirates. He's 3-3. And Hewer for the Cubs got a second save. That's right. So let's keep going. The Boston Red Sox beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-0, 6-13-1 for the Red Sox, 0-4-2 for the Orioles. Uvalde gets the win for the Red Sox. He's 11-9. Lothar of the Hill people got the loss for the Orioles. He's at 1-3. Blue Jays beat the Yankees 6-5, 6-10-0 for the Jays, 5-7-0 for the Yanks. Kimber gets the win for the Jays. He's 3-4. Holmes suffers a humiliated defeat. He's 8-4. Romano gets his 22nd save for the Jays. Florida Marlins over the New York Mets 3-2, 3-5-0 for the Marlins, 2-9-1 for the Mets. Kurt gets the win. For the Marlins, he's 3-1. Lugo gets the loss for the Mets. He's 4-3. And Floro gets his 13th save. Braves beat the Phillies 7-2, and this has definitely got playoff contention here. 7-11-1 for the Braves, 2-5-1 for the Phils. Fried with the victory. He goes 14-7. Nola gets the loss, goes 9-9. Twins beat the Tigers 5-2, 5-7-0 for the Twins, 2-10-1 for the Tigers. Pineda gets the win for the Twins. He's 9-8. Mize gets a loss. He drops to 7-9. Milwaukee Brewers over the St. Louis Cardinals, 4-0, and that ends. There's how many games? That ends our 17-game winning streak. 4-9-0 for the Brews, 0-3-0 for the Cards. Hauser gets the W for the Brews. He's 10-6. Mikolas gets the loss. He's 2-3 for the Cards. LA Angels over the Texas Rangers by a score of 7-2, 7-11-0 for the Angels, 2-9-1 for the Rangers. Quijada, or no, I think it's Wijeda. Yeah, Wijeda gets the win for the Angels. He's 1-2. Hearn gets a loss for the Rangers. He's 6-5. White Sox over the Reds 6-1, 6-7-0 for the White Sox, 1-4-0 for the Reds. Rodon gets the win. He's 13-5. Gray the loss. He's 7-9. Royals over the Indians 10-5, 10-11-0 for the Royals. 5-11-1 for the Indians. Holland with the win for the Royals. He's 3-5. Whitgren gets the loss for the Indians. He's 2-9. Tampa Bay blanks the Astros 7-0, 7-11-0 for the Rays, 0-3-1 for the Stros. Rasmussen gets the victory. He goes 4-1, and Garcia gets a loss. He's 11-8. Now, let us get to you folks. If you are ready, I am ready. Are you set? Because here come the standings as we inch closer to the end of a very productive 2021 baseball season. And as always, we begin with a spin, the AL East. And it is now official. The Tampa Bay Rays have not only clinched a playoff berth, have not only clinched the division, but they have also won for the best record in the league. Yep, best record in the AL, the American League, at 98-60, which means the Yankees have been eliminated. They are 8 games. Okay, let's do this over. Tampa Bay on top, best record in Major League Baseball this season. They got the AL East crown officially, 98-60. They're 8 up on the Yankees, who are eliminated with 90-68. They're 9 up on the Boston Red Sox at 89-69. There we go. Hey, not bad. 10 up on the Toronto Blue Jays at 88-70, and 47 up on the Baltimore Orioles, who are 51-107. Chicago White Sox. Well, the White Sox clinched the division at 91-68. They are 13.5 up on Cleveland, 77-81. 15.5 up on Detroit at 75-83. 17.5 up on Kansas City at 73-85. And 19.5 up on Minnesota at 71-87. Houston Astros, they're still up in the valley, 92-66. They haven't clinched anything yet because right now everything is a little close. They are 4 up on Seattle at 88-70, 7 up on Oakland at 85-73, 17 up on the Angels at 75-83, and 34 up on Texas at 58-100. Okay, let's go to the National League section. And we Going to bounce off here. Atlanta in the NL East. Well, we might as well just say it unless Philadelphia makes one hell of a big old comeback. Atlanta will not only clinch playoff berth, but they'll also clinch the division, the National League Eastern Division. Philadelphia they're 4 up on Philadelphia at 81 and 77, 10 up on the New York Mets at 75 and 83, 20 and a half up on Miami at 65 and 93, and 21 up on Washington at 65 and 94. In the National League Central, well, we might as well say it. Milwaukee Brewers have not only got the NL Central crown, but they did it fast, 95 and 63, 7 up on St. Louis, which has a wild card berth at 88 and 70. 13 and a half up on Cincinnati at 82 and 77, 27 up on the Cubs at 68 and 90, and 36 up on Pittsburgh at 59 and 99. And the National League West, it is too close to call between San Francisco, which clinched the playoff berth, and the Dodgers, which has also clinched the playoff berth, and quite possibly clinched the wild card. Right now, San Francisco is at 103 and 54. They're 2 up on the defending World Series champs Los Angeles Dodgers at 101 and 56. They're 25 up on San Diego at 78 and 79, 30 and a half up on Colorado at 73 and 85, and 53 up on Arizona, 50 and 107. So there you go. A big old wild night and afternoon in sports. Now, let's go to the National Football League. We tried to do this on Tuesday, couldn't do it. Now we're doing it tonight. So right now, let's go to week 3 and give you the special Wednesday night edition of Tuesday Night Quarterback, where this year we take 5 games, do the reviews, and the rest we just do mini review. So let us get going with at least one game here, if we by chance happen to skim through these things. Yes, we do. We do. And I guess our first game, yes, friends, it'll be the Ravens and the Lions. Let's do the recap of the Ravens-Lions game. All right, Justin Tucker ended the game as if he was starting it, backing up an extra step or two and kicking the football with every bit of force he had in his right foot. Tucker set an NFL record with a 6-year-old bouncing it through off the crossbar as time expired to lift the Baltimore Ravens to a 19-17 win over the Detroit Lions on Sunday. The kick topped the 64-yard field goal that Matt Prater made for Denver against Tennessee in 2013. Prater's attempt at a 68-yard kick for Arizona on Sunday fell short and was returned for 109 yards for a touchdown by Jacksonville's Jamal Agnew, former teammate in Detroit. Lamar Jackson, and perhaps a break from the officials, made the record-breaking kick at Ford Field possible. On 4th and 19 from the Baltimore 16, he threw a 36-yard pass to Sammy Watkins to get the Ravens across the midfield with 7 seconds left. The superstar quarterback spiked the ball to stop the clock, and on the next snap, he threw it away after TV footage suggested the play clock had expired. Then Tucker made a 61-yard kick to beat the Lions in Baltimore's previous visit to the Motor City 8 years ago, came out And it was like deja vu all over again. Referee Scott Novak told a pool reporter that he had not seen a replay of the play in which the play clock appeared on TV to expire before Jackson's incomplete pass to the sideline, adding he had no idea if there was an error made. Baltimore went into the fourth quarter with a 16-7 lead and ended up trailing briefly. Ryan Santoso made a go-ahead 35-yard field goal with 1:04 left, giving Campbell an opportunity to win his first game with the Lions. Santoso was promoted from Detroit's practice squad on Saturday after kicker Austin Siebert went on the COVID reserve list. Jackson was 16 of 31 for a season-high 287 with a touchdown and an interception. His teammates dropped at least 4 passes that could have potentially turned the closely contested game into a rout. Now, Mark Andrews had 5 receptions for 109 yards for the Ravens, who had won 11 straight games against NFC opponents. Thank you. One more time. Thank you. Okay, let me just set you up right here, and this is our cheesy teleprompter. Jackson perfectly placed 2 passes on one drive that should have been touchdowns, but Watkins and Marquise Brown failed to catch the football. Brown also dropped 2 passes on a single possession late in the first half, forcing Baltimore to punt. The Ravens often had to settle for field goals, and they're fortunate to have one of the best ever handling that job for them. Tucker, who was wide right on a 49-yard field goal in the first quarter, made a 39-yard kick with 10:05 left in the first half to put them ahead 3-0. Tucker made 2 field goals in the third. The Lions have had a history of losing on long kicks in addition to the 2 by Tucker. Detroit was also on the other end, the wrong end of Tom Dempsey's then record 63-yarder in 1970 for New Orleans. Buffalo's Dan Carpenter beat the Lions with a 58-yarder in 2014. The Ravens ran for 116 yards, surpassing 100 yards for the 42nd straight game to pull within 1 of the NFL records set by Pittsburgh from 74 to 77. Calvin Johnson, Megatron to his fans, set aside his hard feelings for the Lions long enough to be honored at halftime, receiving his Ring of Excellence from the Pro Football Hall of Fame after being inducted last month. Your injuries for the Ravens: rookie linebacker Dalen Hayes with an ankle and safety Deshaun Elliott quadriceps were hurt during the game. The defense started the game without defensive end Derek Wolfe, back hip injuries, and linebackers Jalen Ferguson and Justin Houston, and defensive linemen Brandon Williams and Justin Medebuki went on the reserve COVID-19 list Friday. Lions linebacker Trey Flowers, shoulder and knee, was inactive. And up next, Ravens play at Denver next Sunday. Lions go to the Windy City of Chicago also next Sunday. Final score, Ravens 19, Lions 17. Okay, let's get on with another fun-filled fiesta of scores. That's right, this is the top 10. So let's make it thus, shall we? If we can't give a top 5, we'll have to choose. All right. Let's get you a recap of the Miami-Vegas overtime thriller. Las Vegas Raiders are off to their best start since 2002. Coach John Gruden is about to nitpick on how they're winning. Reigning AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, Daniel Carlson's 22-yard field goal, as time expired in overtime, lifted the Raiders to a 31-28 victory over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. It marked the second time in the Raiders' first 3 games overcame a 2-touchdown deficit to win in overtime. They also did so against Baltimore in week 1 of Monday nights. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr found Brian 4 yards before Peyton Barber put together runs of 27 and 8 yards to put Vegas on the Miami 11-yard line that eventually set up the winning score for Carlson, who missed an extra point in regulation and kicked 2 field goals in the extra frame. Las Vegas is the first team to open 3-0 against teams that all won 10 or more games the previous season. Carr completed 26 of 43 pass attempts for 386 yards and 2 touchdowns, used his talented receiving depth for the third straight time. The 8-year veteran completed passes to 9 targets, led by Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, who each had 5 receptions. Renfrow also scored a touchdown. With star running back Josh Jacobs sidelined with an ankle injury, recently signed Barber led the rushing game with 111 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries. We'll give you the whatever you call it. This was our game number 2 of the Funny Five. We got 3 more before we take all the rest in mini. Okay. Okay, let's our third game that we have selected is Green Bay and San Francisco. Now, with only seconds to play and no timeouts, Aaron Rodgers had no doubt where he'd look to drive Green Bay Packers to a game-winning kick. Rodgers completed 2 deep passes to Devontae Adams on a last-minute drive, setting up Mason Crosby's 51-yard field goal on the final play of the game that gave the Packers a 30-28 victory over the San Francisco 49ers Sunday night. Rodgers did twice on passes of 27 and 17 yards to Adams after the Packers took over at their 25 with 37 seconds left and no timeouts following Jimmy Garoppolo's 12-yard touchdown pass to Kyle Juszczyk. Adams came back after taking a hard hit from Jimmy Ward that looked like it could knock him out of the game and finished with 12 catches for 132 yards. All that was left for Crosby to make the kick and the Packers to celebrate a win that came after they blew a 17-point lead. We'll give you the usual stata. All right, Packers, once again, final score. Packers 30, 49ers 28. Let's see. If we don't have 2 others, we'll just go for Saints and Patriots. Let's give you the recap on our 4th game, the Saints versus the Patriots. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. Only one brand of football comes to mind when Jameis Winston thinks about the best New Orleans Saints teams of the past. Winston threw 2 touchdown passes. Malcolm Jenkins returned. Thank you. Excuse me. Winston threw 2 touchdown passes. Malcolm Jenkins returned an interception for a score, and the Saints beat the Patriots 2013 on a Sunday. New England is 0-2 at home for the first time since 2000, which was Bill Belichick's first season as a coach. A week after a career-low passer rating, Winston showed better command of the offense, completing 13 of 21 passes for 128 yards. Taysom Hill ran for a touchdown, and Alvin Kamara rushed 24 times for 89 yards and had a receiving touchdown. He got support from a defense that made Patriots rookie quarterback's life miserable. Mac Jones entered the day hoping to stretch the field after 2 games in which the passing attack was mostly underneath. Instead, he found himself under pressure for most of the day and threw 3 interceptions, 2 leading to the Saints touchdowns. New Orleans sacked Jones 3 times and hit him 11. He finished 30 of 51 for 270 yards and a touchdown. Jenkins was a beneficiary of the second interception, snaring a pass bobbled by tight end Jonnu Smith. He returned it 34 yards and put the Saints in front, 21-3. The Patriots cut it to 21-3 following Jones's 22-yard pass to Kenerick Bourne with 9:22 left in the 4th period. The Saints responded with a 13-play, 75-yard drive that ate up 6:47 and ended with a 4-yard run by Hill. Saints coach Sean Payton harped all week on the Patriots' impressive 108-7 record at home, including playoffs since 2000, when they won the turnover battle. He said having a +3 differential Sunday was huge. New Orleans overcame an early injury to take a 14 lead into halftime. Saints' offensive line was already down one, started with center Eric McCoy rolled out due to a calf injury. They lost another early in the first quarter after left tackle Teron Armstead exited with a left elbow injury. But after going 3 and out on their opening drives, Saints got efficient, sweeping down the field, mixing runs and passes, and a long third down conversion to get inside the rest room. Winston then put a bow on the 11-play, 69-yard drive with an 11-yard touchdown pass to Kamara. The Saints turned defense into offense for second score. Patriots had... Okay. He finished 30 of 51 for 207 yards and a touchdown. Saints safety P.J. Williams returned Jones's first pick of the day, 46 yards, set up a 7-yard touchdown pass by Winston in the second quarter. Al Jenkins was the beneficiary of the second INT, snaring a pass bobbled by tight ends Johnny Smith. He returned a 53-yard and cut. Oh, boy. Okay, let's keep going here. Patriots cut it to 20-13 following Jones's 22-yard touchdown pass to Kendrick Bourne with 9:22 left in the fourth period. The Saints responded with a 13-play, 75-yard. Who knew? It ate up 6 minutes, 45 seconds, and ended with a 4-yard run by Hill. Your stat trading. Okay, Saints coach Sean Payton harped all week on the Patriots' impressive 108-7 record at home, including playoffs. We've already done that bit. New Orleans overcame an injury to take a 14-3 lead into halftime. The Saints' offensive line was already down one starter with Eric McCoy ruled out. They lost another early in the first quarter after left tackle Teron Armstead exited with a left shoulder elbow injury. But after going 3 and out on their opening drive, the Saints got efficient, sweeping down the field, mixing runs and passes, and a long third down conversion to get inside the red zone. Oh, God. Anyway, final score, New Orleans 28, New England 13. Can't wait for Sunday. Okay, let's get to starter. I mean, not started. Ended up Bengals 24, Steelers 10. Titans beat the Colts 25-16. Chargers overtook the Chiefs 30-24. Yeah, it is. Dolphins beat the Raiders 28-31. Bills over Washington 43-21. Chargers over the Chiefs 30-24. Titans over the Colts 25-16. Broncos blanked the Jets 26-0. Vikings over Seahawks 30-17. Rams over the Buccaneers 34-24. Packers over the 49ers 30-28. And Panthers over Texas 24-9. Congratulations. Oh, Lord. All righty. I'm almost dead tired, folks. All right. Let's we'll come back for the fifth pick, but right now we got to oh boy. All right. We got scores in the minor leagues. Let's hit to it. Let's go to AAA. Okay, some games still in action. Vegas over Reno 8-1. And in the top of the ninth, Tacoma over Salt Lake City. All right. Top of the ninth inning, which means this game is about over. Tacoma over Salt Lake, 4-0. And the end of the sixth inning, Albuquerque over Sacramento, 8-0. We go to finals. Justin Gwinnett over Jacksonville, 6-1, 6-10-1 for Gwinnett, 1-4-1 for Jacksonville. Kelly and company got the job done. He's 3-4. Neidert gets the loss. He's 6-4. Final scores: Omaha over Iowa. Here. Omaha over Iowa, 10-5, 10-11-0 for Omaha, 5-9-1 for Iowa. Oh boy. Okay. Man. Okay. Martinez with the win. Omaha 10, Iowa 5, 10-11-0 for Omaha, 5-9-1 for Iowa. Martinez the winner. He's 5-7. Hudson the loser. He's 0-1. Memphis beats Charlotte by a score of 12-1, 12-15-0 for Memphis, 1-6-0 for Charlotte. With T on the spot. You had to you had to be here. All right. Scranton Wilkes-Barre defeated Rochester by a score of 10-6, 10-9-6 for Scranton, 6-8-1 for Rochester. Crook is the winner. He's 6-5. Cavelli is the loser. He's 1-5. Columbus over Louisville, 13-3, 13-14-0 for Columbus, 3-11-3 for Louisville. The winning pitcher was okay. Columbus over Louisville, 13-3, 13-14-0. Profiteering from it. Toledo beats St. Paul 4-3, 4-5-0 for Toledo, 3-11-0 for St. Paul. Blackwood got the win. She's 5-0, and Blunt. Well, let's. Okay, now. Okay. See if we can find something inevitable. Then we got the Rabbi coming up a little later on. Oh boy. All right. Okay, let me all right. The onset. Let's see. All right. Well, could do that, but that would be wrong. Yes. All right. 2-4-3. Buffalo over Syracuse 7-3. 7-12-0 for Buffalo. 3-7-0 for Syracuse. Yay! Done during our all right. Let's see. Durham over Norfolk. Final score 4-1, 4-6-0 for Durham, 1-5-1 for Norfolk. Moran gets the win. He's 1-0. Peralta gets his comeuppance at 4-2. And White, well, you did good. Oh man. Hey Darius, how you doing, dude? All right. Hey, we're getting better. We got Buffalo, Syracuse, Durham, Norfolk. Worcester, Lehigh Valley. Worcester defeated Lehigh Valley by a score of 2-1, 2-5-0 for Worcester, 1-6-0 for Lehigh Valley. Winning pitcher Hartleb, 3-2. Adams gets lost at 1-1, and Gonsalves gets his first save. Indianapolis over Nashville in 10 innings, 5-4, 5-10-0 for Indianapolis, 4-8-2 for Nashville. Winning pitcher Wyman, he's 5-0. Sadzek, 3-3 with a 4.95 ERA. Blank. All right, there we go. Round Rock over Sugarland, 5-1, 5-8-2 for Round Rock, 1-3-0 for Sugarland. Wynn gets the big win. He's 1-0. Donato over Shooker, yeah. Donato over Sugarland, 2-4 is his record. El Paso over Oklahoma City, 2-1, 2-4-0 for OK City, and 1-4-0 for El Paso. Wilkerson gets the win. He's 8-5. Scholzem, he 3 outs. And thank you. Anyway, Wilkerson gets the win. He's 8-5. Schultens gets lost. He's 3-10, and Quackenbush gets the 22nd save. All right, here we go from AAA. All right. Wow. Okay, let's give you some AA. No games happening in AA. High A, no games happening there. And finally, low A, also nada. So there you go. Our baseball moment has been usurped. Okay, let's get with the media and our friends at Awful Announcing. And as expected, ESPN waited long enough. They dumped Katie Nolan after 4 years. On Wednesday, Katie Nolan announced that her time at ESPN had come to an end. She originally joined the company from Fox Sports back in 2017. This doesn't. The most recent episode for podcast Sports was posted on Friday. Nolan also appeared on Highly Questionable's finale on September 10th. Now, this doesn't come as much as this doesn't come as much of a surprise. After Always Late, Nolan's late night show was canceled last year during the early days of the pandemic. Last year, Nolan also revealed she signed a new deal with ESPN just before Ashley Brabham, her former podcast co-host and producer, was caught up in the layoffs of ESPN employees. So what's next? Well, her follow-up tweet seemed to indicate she'll be continuing on the podcast games because, as we all know, everyone loves a podcast. At some outlet, either the Ringo or Metalark, they both seem like fits on paper, but we still seem to be pretty far away from Nolan making a decision about her next steps. Maybe going back to Fox Sports will be a sign of enjoyment and fun. All right. The March Madness branding, which has for many moons been connected with the men's basketball tournament. Well, after a lot of arguing and a lot of BSing, the folks at the NC2A agreed that March Madness should be for all, including the ladies. Well, in recent years, the handling of the NCAA women's basketball tournament has come under more and more fire, with discrepancies in how the NC2A has treated its men's and women's basketball tournaments becoming more and more obvious. That was especially notable during the COVID-19 impacted 2021 NC2A tournament. In particular, it was clear with a video from Oregon's women's basketball player Sindona Price showing the extremely limited workout facilities provided to the women compared to the vastness of the men's tournament accommodations. The video even prompted retailer Dick's Sporting Goods to offer to donate equipment to the women's tournament. Well, that video prompted further discussions of a variety of inequities between the men and women's tournament. It led to NC2A President Mark Emmert saying, quote, it is pretty self-evident that we dropped the ball in supporting our women athletes, and we can't do that. End quote. The NCAA then commissioned a gender equity review of the tournaments from law firm Kaplan, Hecker, and Fink, which was released in August, and had some particularly notable comments on the media rights side. Those included a discussion of how the women's tournament was partially treated poorly because of a perceived lack of TV value. But that lack of value came from the NC2A bundling it with 28 other championship events rather than letting it stand on its own. And another thing the law firm flagged was the women's tournament's inability to use March Madness for branding, with the NC2A reversing that only for the men. Well, the NCAA has now changed its approach, allowing the women's tournament to embrace the madness as well, beginning in 2022. They've announced further changes as well that may even be more significant, including zero-based budgeting. It means both men and women's basketball tournaments will have to justify each part of their budget from scratch rather than just building off of previous years. That could be particularly huge for avoiding things like the obvious accommodation discrepancies we saw this year. Of course, everything isn't fixed from the NC2A using March Madness branding for a women's tournament. There's a long way to go towards further equity, as that law firm report described, and even the zero-based budgeting approach here is unlikely to provide actual equity, especially not at first. And the NC2A has a lot of other issues to deal with and is in the headlines on a lot of other fronts, especially including a National Labor Relations Board memo Wednesday that college athletes at private institutions should be considered employees under the National Labor Relations Act. So we'll just see how much change the NCAA actually produces around women's basketball. And we'll also see how many people will continue to hold their feet to the fire on reform efforts. But the March Madness branding and the zero-based budgeting are steps toward more equity in NCAA basketball. They're also interesting steps on the media side, as that allows ESPN, which airs the women's tournament, to use March Madness branding. CBS and Turner have often used for men's side, and even if the NCAA got to these steps years after, they should have and did so under extreme eternal pressure. They're still steps in the right direction nonetheless. Okay, time for us to put up the sign and get Harry to do his thing, because it is time to rap with the rabbi, boys. And now it's time to rap with the rabbi as we bring you the Thursday night game of the week thank you. Yep, there we are. It's time for Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman, Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman, and the Thursday night football edition of Rapping with the Rabbi. Monsignor Rabbi Fleischman, it is good to see you from the Vatican Football League. Yes, it is, Harold. It is good to be seen. Good evening, everyone. Let us begin with the Thursday night game, which we have right here. And that game is Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Thank you. Jacksonville is 0-3 overall, 0-1 in the AFC South. They are going to be in Cincinnati on Thursday at 8:20 on the NFL Network against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 2-1. Well, I will say one thing with this game. It is going to be impressive. And we'll have the injury reports. At least you and Baxman will have those in a little bit. But I'm gonna stick my neck out on this one. Boy, am I gonna stick my neck out? I'm gonna predict the Cincinnati Bengals will lose. Jacksonville Jaguars 21, Cincinnati Bengals 17. And that is it for right now. I'll see you all on Saturday night with the rest of my football predictions. I'm Monsignor Rabbi Hiram Shecky Fleischman, live from the Vatican Football League here in the Vatican, saying good night. Harold, it's been fun. And that's Rapping with the Rabbi, the Thursday night football edition. Back to the Baxman. All right, thank you very much, Harry, and L'chaim, my brother, L'chaim. Okay, there we go. On that sense to the void. Okay, let us get to our speed round here. Speed round? Why not speed round? Let's get to some soccer scores from today and the Champions League Group B. Benfica 3-0 winner over Barcelona. Bayern Munich 5-0 winner Dynamo Kyiv. Group F, Atalanta over the Young Boys 1-0. Manchester United over Villarreal 2-1. In Group G, Red Bull Salzburg over Lille 2-1. Wolfsburg and Seville tied at 1. In Group H, thank you, boys. In Group H, Zenit St. Petersburg blanked Malmo 4-0. Juventus also blanked Chelsea 1-0. And let's go to this one. Sorry if you're hearing the background. I did say for our the sound to be just a little skosh downwards, so you folks won't hear it, and neither will YouTube. But we'll just leave it as is. In championship soccer, 9M Forest over Barnsley, 3-1. Derby County over Reading, 1-0. Fulham over Swansea City, 3-0. 3-1. Luton Town over Coventry City, 5-0. Millwall over Bristol City, 1-0. Peterborough United and Bournemouth tied at 0. In the quarterfinal of the Women's FA Cup, Brighton and Hove Albion beat Charlton, 1-0. Manchester City over Leicester City, 6-0. Arsenal, a 5-1 winner over Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea over Birmingham City, 4-0. In the Scottish Championship, Wraith Rovers and Dunfermline tied at 1. Highland League, Nairn County, a 3-3 tie with Fort William. Lowland League, East Kilbride 7, Gretna 1. Scottish Women Premier League, Hibernian 3, Hearts 0, Celtic 4, Motherwell 0. Rangers 6, Spartans 1. In Norwegian soccer, it was Stabæk and Strømsgodset tied at goose egg. And in the Major League Soccer, Atlanta over Inter Miami 1-0. Toronto over Cincinnati 3-2. New England over Montreal 4-1. DC over Minnesota 3-1. New York Red Bulls and the Philadelphia Union tied at 1. And guess what, folks? I'm going to do something here. Can we turn the sound down a little bit, please? I thank you. Perfect. Now we can finish up. We got one last little bit for you. And that is, of course, let's see, do we have anything more? No, we did the Rapping with the Rabbi, Thursday Night Football Edition. So we just got, and we did, we forgot the headlines. Crap, knew that. Well, since we're short on time here, let's give you as much as we can. Headlines: Major League Baseball, Brewers and Cardinals winning streak at 17. Rays clinch home field advantage for the AL playoffs. Let's give you some NFL midweek injury reports here. Jaguars and the Bengals. Jaguars defensive lineman Roy Robertson Harris, an ankle. Kicker Josh Lambo are out. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, wide receiver T. Higgins, shoulder. Safety Jesse Bates III, neck. They're out. Cornerback Chidobe Azwi, groin. And offensive guard Xavier Swaflu are doubtful. Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. Cornerback Rashad Fenton, concussion, was the only Chiefs player who didn't practice. Offensive tackle Orlando Brown with a groin problem. Defensive end Frank Clark, hamstring. Defensive tackle Chris Jones, risks were limited. Receivers Mecole Hardman, hip, and Tyreek Hill, rib, were full participants. For the Eagles, tackle Jordan Mailata, knees, the only Eagle player didn't practice. Fellow linesman Landon Dixon, hip. Lane Johnson, ankle, and Jason Kelsey, foot, and a lot of rest were limited. New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. The Giants, dozen Giants were included in the report that also included 4 players that did not practice. Among them were Sterling Shepard, hamstring. Darius Slayton, also a hamstring. Running back Shaquan Barkley, knee, and receiver Kenny Golladay, hip. They were also limited. New Orleans had 4 players mentioned in its injury report, with just 2. Center Eric McCoy, calf, and offensive tackle Taron Armstrong, elbow, missing practice. Quarterback Jameis Winston, knee problems, and cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, hand, were full participants. For the Titans and the Jets, receiver A.J. Brown, hamstring. Julio Jones, hamstring. And outside linebacker Bud Dupree were among the 5 Titan players who did not practice Wednesday. It was reported earlier in the day that both Brown and Jones' status for Sunday's game are in jeopardy. Receivers Elijah Moore, concussion. Jeff Smith, concussion, were held off the Jets' first practice of the week, as receiver Jameson Crowder, groin, and tight end Kyler Croft, rib, were very limited. For the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys, Panthers' Christian McCaffrey did not practice Wednesday, but that was to be expected with his hamstring injury. Defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos, ankle, and offensive guard John Miller, shoulder, were limited participants. New cornerback C.J. Henderson was listed on the injury report as well, but he was full participant with a groin issue. For the Cowboys, defensive ends Dorrance Armstrong, ankle, and Carlos Watkins, knee. Safety Donovan Wilson, groin, and offensive tackle Ty Netsky, illness, did not practice. Houston Texans, Buffalo Bills. Bills safety Jordan Poyer was the only player who did not practice on Wednesday due to a medical issue. He sat out with an ankle injury. Offensive guard John Feliciano, illness. Safety Micah Hyde, quadricep, and cornerback Taron Johnson, groin, were limited participants. Jordan Poyer was the only Buffalo player who did not practice on Wednesday due to injury. Guard John Feliciano, safety Micah Hyde, and quarterback Taron Johnson, groin, were limited. Lions and the Bears, outside linebacker Trey Flowers was the only Lion player, shoulder and knee injury, who did not practice. Defensive end Michael Brockers, shoulder. Outside linebacker Romeo Okwara, shoulder, and running back DeAndre Swift, groin, were limited participants. Linebackers Khalil Mack, foot problems. Joel Laigumbunwi, hamstring, and cornerback Tayshaun Gibson, hamstring, did not practice for the Bears. And after missing last week's loss against the Browns, quarterback Andy Dalton, who has knee problems, was limited. Fellow quarterback Justin Fields was a full participant despite being listed with a right thumb injury. In the Cleveland Browns, Minnesota Vikings, two members of the Browns offensive line, J.C. Treader, the center, and tackle Jarek Wills, knee and ankle, in reference, J.C. Treader, knee, and Jarek Wills Jr., ankle, did not practice. Cornerback Greg Newsom II with a calf injury. Offensive tackles Jack Conklin, knee, and Chris Hubbard, tricep, and receiver Odell Beckham Jr., shoulder, were limited. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski has already ruled Newsom out for Sunday's game. Vikings, 15 players on Wednesday. That's big. Report, 5 players received Veterans Days off, while Dalvin Cook, ankle, linebackers Eric Hendricks, hip, and Anthony Barr, knee, were limited. Cook's return comes after a Pro Bowler missed last week's win over Seattle. Tackle Christian Darrisaw, groin, was a full participant, first time this season. How about the Colts and the Dolphins? Well, for the Colts, linebacker Darius Leonard, ankle. Guard Quentin Nelson, who missed practice with an ankle and knee injuries, is not expected to play this weekend. Neither also is running back Jonathan Taylor with knee problems. And quarterback Carson Wentz, ankle, they were limited. Receiver Will Fuller, chest and elbow, was the only Dolphin player who did not practice. Linebacker Jerome Baker, hamstring, and center Mike Dieter, center guard, practice in limited capacity. For Washington at Atlanta, guard Brandon Sheriff, chest and defensive back Benjamin St. Juste, concussion, were the only Washington players that were out on Wednesday. Falcons receiver Russell Gage, ankle, and defensive tackle Marlon Davidson, ankle, did not participate, while receiver Frank Darby, calf, and Eric Harris, back, were among Atlanta's players who were limited. Cornerback A.J. Terrell, concussion, was a full participant. Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, let's do it to it, Pruitt. I'm glad I'm saying that now. Here we go. DeAndre Hopkins with bad ribs did not practice on Wednesday, which is very sad, very depressive. Hopkins played in last weekend's win over the Jags, so his status for Wednesday's practice was likely for precautionary measures. Running back Darrell Henderson Jr. did not practice after missing last Sunday's game. Rams coach Sean McVay said that he believes Henderson will be back on the field this weekend. Seahawks at 49ers, defensive end Kerry Hyder, concussion. Receiver Dwayne Eskridge, running back Rashad Penny, calf, and tackle Brandon Shell, ankle, did not practice. Now receiver Tyler Lockett, hip, was limited. Signs point to Eskridge being back this weekend after the rookie wideout missed the last two games. Javon Kinlaw, knee, George Kittle, calf, Josh Norman, chest, and Kawan Williams, shoulder, were held out of practice. Norman has been listed as day-to-day. Then again, aren't we all? While Williams is expected to miss multiple weeks. Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, 8 Ravens missed practice Wednesday. Among them were quarterback Lamar Jackson with back problems, linebacker Alejandro Villanueva, knee problems, and Ronnie Stanley, ankle problems, and defensive end Derek Wolfe, back and hip problems. Receivers Rashad Bateman and Miles Boykin returned from injured reserve on Wednesday. For the Broncos, Graham Glasgow with knee and Dalton Reisner with ankle were the only ones who didn't practice. Running back Melvin Gordon, bad ribs, was limited. Gordon had a 192-yard and 2 touchdowns throughout 3 games. Pittsburgh Steelers, Green Bay Packers, Ben Roethlisberger didn't practice as the 18-year veteran typically gets Wednesday off. Juju Smith-Schuster with rib problems. Offensive tackle Chukwuma Okafor, concussion, also didn't practice. Linebackers TJ Watt and Alec Highsmith were limited after missing last Sunday's game with groin injuries. Receiver Dante Johnson was also limited after a knee injury kept him out of Pittsburgh's Week 3 loss to Cincinnati. Also practicing Wednesday was offensive tackle Zach Banner, who has 21 days to be activated off injured reserve. Now, on the other side for the Pack, receivers Marquise Valdez-Scantling, hamstring, lineman Josh Myers, finger, and cornerback Kevin King, concussion, were among the Packers who didn't practice Wednesday. Running back Aaron Jones, ankle, was limited. We'll have more of our injury report tomorrow. That's right. And here we go. Let's go to live sport and get to our international audiences. Here we go. Let's troop it up here. We got some NHL preseason hockey to do, and let's go to it. Columbus Blue Jackets beat the St. Louis Blues 5-2. Toronto Maple Leafs over the Ottawa Senators 4-0. New Jersey Devils over the Washington Capitals 5-4. Florida Panthers over the Dallas Stars in penalty shootout 4-3. Winnipeg Jets over the Edmonton Oilers 5-1. Detroit over Chicago 4-3. Seattle finally gets a win over the Calgary Flames 4-3. Arizona Coyotes a 4-1 win over the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. In baseball, the Yokohama Bay Stars beat the Yakut Swallows 7-5. Mishima gets the win for Yokohama. He's 2-5. Ogawa gets a loss for the Swallows. He's 8-5. The York Buffaloes slam the Chibalati Marines 15-2. Yamazaki gets the win for the Buffaloes. He goes to 1-2. Mima gets the loss for the Marines. He goes 5-6. The Chinichi Dragons beat the Omori Giants 5-0. Matsuba for the Dragons gets the win. He's 6-3. Takahashi gets a loss for the Giants. He's 11-6. Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks blank the Cebu Lions 9-0. Martinez gets the win for the Hawks. He's 9-3. Hamaya gets the loss. He's 1-5. Hiroshima Carp over the Hanshin Tigers 8-2. Curry gets the win for Hiroshima 10-7. Aoyagi gets a loss. He's 10-5. Rakuten Golden Eagles over the Nippon Ham Fighters 5-0. Takanaka, the winner, gets 8-4 for Rakuten. Ito gets a loss for Nippon. He's 9-7. In South Korea, the scores go like this. We only have just 2 scores. All the rest of the games were postponed. NC Dinos over the Kia Tigers 4-1. Doosan Bears over the KT Wiz Swans 8-3. And that, my friends, says thank you very much. We have done our duty for tonight. And for everyone who's been involved in this show, from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk here in our studios in Jackson, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. Back tomorrow night at 11:35. Thank you for watching Sports Final. This has been a Mystifying Creativity presentation in association with L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll talk to you tomorrow night, 11:35. Till then, have a good one, folks.